It was extremely embarrassing. It was like the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. Probably, like, there's a lot of embarrassing moments in my life, but this was just terrible. I just didn't like doing it.
And this is how false alligators happen. How Chad pumps and dumps. Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. Yes, we had to make adjustments to the title and the video for YouTube. We dropped a video about young women fixing their first hot dog, and the woman in today's video was also part of that video. So we're diving deeper into her first hot dog fixing story. In this video, you're getting 2 for 1. This is not a diss video, and the girl in the video did not accuse anyone of okay? She did not do that. We use her story as an example of how false alligators could occur. Chad is also part of the story, so we'll also get into that. Shout out to the Patreon gang, salute! The original video is gonna be on Patreon because we have to respect the YouTube guidelines. That's why you will get a censored and filtered YouTube friendly version. So if you like what we do and you want to experience our content to the fullest extent, support us on Patreon. Now it's time for us to dive into this and do what we have to do, because we men, we. We men, we.
So it all started around maybe 2 years ago. So when I was around 18 years old, they opened a new store in my city, and I went there with my mother to see if they had something that we wanted to eat, you know, to see if they had good stuff. We went there, and there was this cashier, I think you call him, I don't know, but there was an employee of the store, and he kept staring at me. Now, mind you, I usually think that when people stare at me, it's because I'm ugly, so I was like super shy, and I didn't want him to look at me, and I kept hiding. But the more I hid, the more I saw that he wanted to look at me. It's so embarrassing, oh my god. And I remember he did this every single time I went there. Like every single time, I'm not even joking. Every single time I had to go there, I was like, oh my gosh, no, there's gonna be the cashier staring at me because I'm ugly.
The guy is staring at her, and she thinks that the guy is staring at her because she thinks she's ugly. The reason why she says this is because the guy is good looking. It's Chad that's looking at her. If it wasn't Chad, staring would not be appreciated. Look what happens when it's not Chad who is staring at a female.
So while I was in New York taking my photos for Instagram, this man walks past me very, very slowly, and he has on a pair of sunglasses. And despite his sunglasses, it's very obvious to tell that he's looking at me. So I turn and I look back at him. And as I do this, he lifts up his sunglasses, puts them on top of his head, walks a couple steps, stops, crosses his arms, and just looks at me. And at this point, I'm like, this is really weird. You're awfully confident in the fact that you can just stare at me and I'm going to be okay with it. Like, because I'm the person I am, I wasn't going to let this weirdo looking at me change my plan.
The guy is a weirdo, a creep. Staring is not appreciated if you're not attractive to the opposite sex. She credits his confidence, but he's not Chad, so it doesn't matter how confident he is. Unattractive men staring at her is offensive. Check out the full breakdown of that video called Arrogant Woman Rejects Guy for Approaching Her and Proves Why Modern Women Stay Single. Let's continue.
But that was until I actually started liking him back. So one day I started feeling things for him, you know, like I realized I liked him. And I knew this because I was just so excited to go to the store, and like, who is excited to go to the grocery store? Me, obviously, but it was because of the dude, it wasn't because of the store. And I just liked him a lot. So I just went there. I went there like I think a couple of times a week, I don't know.
She likes him. She has feelings for him. How? The only thing he did was stare at you. So now she's open to meet him, and she does what most women will do, and that is show up. In her case, she showed up 3 times a week, waiting for him to make a move.
Until he finally decides to talk to me, and he just tells me that he likes me and that he wants to know me and stuff like that. And we actually start to hang out together. All of this lasts for about a couple of months, 3 months. I don't know because I wasn't counting.
This is like Bumble. These women are looking for Chad and Tyrone, and their first move is a message saying, "Hi." In other words, I showed up and you will have to take it from here. If the man that they want doesn't do anything, they're basically screwed. And that's one of the reasons why women are not the prize. Everything stands and falls with us. This girl would spend the rest of her life going to the grocery store, Tinder, Bumble, if Chad didn't approach her.
And basically one day things get a bit heated up for us, if you know what I mean. So we actually decided to go to his place because I was 18 and he was like 22. So obviously he had his own place. I didn't. We decided to go there. We are watching the TV and all of a sudden he asks me if I have ever done a on someone. Obviously I tell him no because I thought were like absolutely disgusting. Obviously, like if he wanted me to, I would have done it for him because I loved him, but it's not really a fantasy of mine. I'm sorry. So we actually decided that it's time for me to do my first one.
She decided that she was gonna suck hot dog for the first time because she loves him. I want you to pay close attention to what she is about to say next.
So I basically proceed at doing what I had to do, and let me tell you, it was the weirdest feeling ever. It was like soft and hard at the same time, and I knew it already because like I've done stuff, but I have never really touched one with my mouth. So just do whatever I had to do. It was really weird. I didn't really like it that much, but he liked it, so that was fine. Obviously I was not the best because it was like my first time. Also it was extremely embarrassing. It was like the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. Probably like there's a lot of embarrassing moments in my life, but this was just terrible. I just didn't like doing it.
She didn't like it, and it was embarrassing. One of the most embarrassing things she has ever done. Now we are in the danger zone. Pay attention.
To be honest, also I feel like I felt forced to do it. Not because he forced me, but because since I liked him so much, I thought that it was something that I had to do, and I still did it even though I wasn't ready.
She felt forced to do it. Let's give her credit for saying that he did not force her to do it, but she felt that she had to do it because she liked him so much. Look what happens when a woman does not like you so much.
What's going on from my perspective is that I feel that my girls have been by their father.
She felt that her daughters were by their father. That was a feeling. Now look what happens to the father.
Has anybody touched you? No, Daddy, no, Daddy. I said, well, okay, what we gonna do? We gonna go over here to the hospital and let them check you out. You ain't taking my child nowhere. A lot of that, I had to fight my way out of there. I'm heading to the hospital. I get maybe a mile, and here come the police. It's around my truck. So they come to the door, because I need to get my daughter to the hospital. Oh no, Mr. Hughes, we got a report that you done her. So.
Come here, come on. Let's sit through it. Just turn.
Here comes the police, ready to lock you up first and ask questions later. You see a grown man crying because there's nothing that this man could do about it. 25 years later, this happens.
Miss Yvonne took a lie detector test and said, did you make up or exaggerate any stories with the intention to harm Monzel? She responded no, and the answer was deceptive.
Deceptive. Did you make up or exaggerate any stories with the intention of harming Monzel? Deceptive. She wanted to hurt this man. Why?
Why?
He probably did something that she didn't like. Maybe he did something that embarrassed her. She wanted payback.
Then he asked you, did you say something to the effect of, I'm gonna make sure you're never happy again? She responded no, and the answer was deceptive.
The lie detector test results came out deceptive, and look what happens when she gets confronted with the results.
Miss Yvonne has acknowledged that her story about you touching was not true. So, Miss Yvonne, is there anything that you wanted to say to Mr. Monsell?
Why didn't you fight for him harder if you knew you
Excuse
didn't
me.
do it?
Oh my goodness. We talked about it. No accountability.
And what is it that he could have said that would have made you not believe the lie you were telling? Miss Yvonne, you told the lie. It was a lie, and you told it. And you gotta own it.
Exactly. You gotta own it because everything happens for a reason. And our Italian chick is gonna take it a step further.
And this is an advice that I'm giving you guys. If you don't feel like you want to do something, don't do it just because you like the other person. If you just don't feel like giving it, don't. I did it because I liked him and because he said, if you do it, I'm gonna do things for you, if you know what I mean. It's like I was super okay, let's do it, but I didn't really feel like doing it.
What was he gonna do for you? What did he say that convinced you to fix his hot dog? And this is where we just have to highlight the controversial casting to give you an idea how women are willing to go the extra mile to get what they want.
In my lobby, sometimes there's 20 to 30 girls every day waiting to get in to see me so they could get some work.
Right.
And I'm a performer. And I'm you know what I mean? So, of course, there was a casting.
Like I've said before, women will change the rules for Chad. Women will break the rules for Chad. That doesn't mean that they like what they have to do for Chad. Does not mean that they're not ashamed of what they had to do for Chad. So if it doesn't work out with Chad, and Chad has value that she can't take advantage of, she may be seeking revenge. Not today, not tomorrow, probably when she hit the wall and Chads are not interested anymore. Now look how this could be triggered.
And if you don't feel like doing it, it's not gonna turn out good. But anyways, I finished my business. Oh my gosh, that was extremely embarrassing. Talking about it gives me anxiety. After this happened, we just keep hanging out together. I go home after some hours and I can't stop thinking about it. It was so embarrassing, I just couldn't stop. And then all of a sudden a message arrives and it's from him. He says, it was good. Obviously you can learn because it's your first time, but I can teach you. But anyways, as I was saying, it tasted disgusting. It tasted like a sausage that was a bit harder than your usual sausage. It was so freaking disgusting. I can't even explain. It was so horrific to me. So I just ended up telling him that I didn't want to do it again, and if he wanted to hear from me, then I'm sorry, but he couldn't really get any more, because at least at the moment I didn't like them. I was maybe when I'm older, because I was 18, so maybe that was too much for me at the time, I don't know. And he stopped testing me. He literally stopped testing me just because I didn't want to give me what's wrong with you?
No, what's wrong with you? You set the standard by saying if he wanted to hear from you, then he could not get his hot dog sucked anymore, right? So if he demanded that you would suck his hot dog, then you would have ghosted him. But you know what happened? He ghosted you. And now you're surprised. The foolishness. The guy ghosted her because she was not giving him what he wanted from her. You have to understand, just like the casting couch, Chad has multiple women lined up, ready to do what you don't want to do. He has options. She kind of laughs it off, but it's embarrassing. And women don't handle rejection very well. And some women will not let you get away with this. Hell had no fury like a woman scorned.
At the time I was sad, but now I don't really care. Because if you don't want me because of that, then you're a piece of trash.
She calls him trash. What does that say about you? She's not taking responsibility for her actions. When you watch our previous video, these women were not doing it with their boyfriends. And before they did it, they were already fooling around with some other boys. Just like this girl here. She admits that she already did some stuff here and there before she actually sucked her first hot dog. So you suck first and ask questions later? I don't know what parents are teaching their daughters these days. mothers in particular, don't they teach you anything about chat? Don't they teach you how to weed out the good, the bad, and the ugly? The value of punani has dropped like an airplane because women are giving it up for free. Chad and Tyrone will pump and dump as long as women allow it. Remember, nobody forced you to do anything.
And also, boy, if you're watching this, fuck you.
Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.